Also, mic test. Oh. I think it's nap time. It's nap stream. No, but I really want to go to bed. It's funny because I only just woke up too, but I had a rough night sleeping. How's everybody doing? It's like 6 p.m. Well, it's like 5 p.m. actually, because that's how time zones work, and I can know because this stupid thing always turns on at 5 p.m. The most annoying Tamagotchi in the world. Not even mine, it's the wife's. Yeah, I obviously didn't sleep all that well. Ugh. Favorite Hyper Blaster so far? That bar none. The Rush 40. Or the Crush 40 for those of you that have some taste. My goodness, is that blaster way too good. Which, it's been... Oh my god, these last couple of days have been a roller coaster of emotion. E-girl chair, I am the best E. I absolutely... My pink hair. Is my arm weird?
Remember all the happy times we had.
Rush 40 is the better. And the favorite Elite 2.0 blaster is obviously the Turbine. Best bang for your buck stock Nerf blaster? The Villainator, most likely a person. Well, cheese knees, I'm willing to bet you don't actually have Hyper, right? It's actually amazing to me how many people are like, I have 4 Rush 40s and they're all the worst blaster ever, and it's like, there's no way you have any. It's amazing how people have been. Are you hyped for the Dart Zone Max Striker, asks Eric. It's a Nexus Pro. It looks cool, but it's a Nexus Pro. It looks identical to a Nexus Pro. Am I going to be hyped for the same thing? Not really. But it's fine, it looks cooler than Nexus Pro, that's for sure. Have you heard about the NERF X Hype paint job? Is that rainbow-colored disruptor I saw? I saw something about that. I did see a thing about that. What would your dream Nerf gun? This is a video that I've been meaning to do for a while that I keep forgetting the details on. I had a whole list of things at one point. Hello, WALCOM. I've never been to a war, and I'm wondering how to get into the hobby. I wish I had an easier answer for you, Bean Studios. Typically, it really depends right now on what groups you have nearby. Like, if you live in a major city or a major metro area, at least in the US, you're going to have groups nearby. And also, you know, national games, the big ones, like End War, Ragnarok Oktoberfest, West vs. Zombies, Jared's Epic Nerf, or I guess it's now Jared's Epic Blaster Battle, which I believe I'm still going to. I'm a little shaky on that one right now. But, I mean, there are ways to get in, and those are probably the easiest. Colleges do HVZ events. Most of the time, they're not open to the public, though. They're for students. Although that's been kind of going away these last couple of years for a variety of reasons. It's not easy. Are you hyped for the Worker Swift? If it hits the performance marks that I was leaked, yes. If it's just another 150 FPS pump action Springer, a little less so. I'm exhausted. Are you a fan of SSS Gridman? Not really. I haven't really seen it, although I do know there's 2 cute, thick girls in it, so that's about all I know about it. It's on the list, but that list is pretty long. How would you get the ammo of Hyper to be less sticky without introducing debris? I think the stickiness comment from not only me, but a variety of people was grossly taken out of context. So, here's a Hyper round. I didn't think this through. I did not think this through at all. I hate my life. Life just got a little bit more complex. I tried to figure out what to do now. I could just take down the green screen, but it's kind of a freaking mess back there. Cat, I'm here. Hi, fluffy boy. That mean like this thing. Oh yeah, no, half the blaster is gone. Okay. That's a frustration. Look at that. It's a dirty apartment. I still have to take out those pizza boxes. Okay, let's disable a thing. It's done. I already want to go to bed. Can I just go to bed? I think that's a far more efficient use of time. This is the actual camera. Then webcam? Oh my gosh. About the level of intelligence we're working with today. Boink. Chroma keys off. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see it. It's no longer a predator. This is a NERF Hyper round, right? And I think the stickiness ordeal was vastly, like, people seem to think they're actually like tacky to the touch, and it's not. It's sticky because it's like taking a piece of rubber and a piece of rubber and rubbing them against each other. So to other objects, they're not really sticky. You know what I mean? But if you have rival or hyper rounds together, they tend to stick because there's not much in the way of like the word I'm looking for. They're sticky to each other is basically the concept I'm trying to point out. And if I grab one of these, you can kind of see what that's about. So they still aren't they aren't all that sticky, but when you have them like stuck together, like mashed together in a pod, yeah, they're pretty sticky. That was the problem. Like, a lot of people seem to think they're like they don't actually physically stick, but people seem to think they're like actually like wet, tacky, and weird. And that was mine, and I think just about every single other reviewer's fault for instigating that. But I'm amazed at the actual backlash that my video, and I've seen some other people's videos on, people are like, it's kind of like 8 out of 10, absolute garbage, 9 out of 10, it's okay, 10 out of 10, it's good, buy it now kind of scales. Like, people are really antagonistic about Hyper and the fact that, like, my video particularly, I saw in like Out of Darts' videos and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, the Mach-100 is absolute garbage, do not buy. And that's not the truth. But everybody's like, well, doesn't hit 150 FPS pinpoint accurate with 7,000 round magazine and instant reload teleportation devices, so I don't like it. And I'm sitting here trying to wonder where this came from and how do I stop it? Because we're in this weird world where I know for a fact that we've outgrown NERF, like, as hobbyists and stuff like that. But to say, like, something like this doesn't offer you anything, you're flat out wrong. And it's people who are like, well, I'd rather have one round and actually be able to hit something than 50 plus 100 and not be able to hit anything. It's like, did you watch my video? These things are perfectly fine up to like 50, 60 feet. The exact same as Rival. And past that, especially if we figure out how to work these things a little bit better, and I have some theories about that, they fly farther than like Ultra. They fly really good sometimes. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the hop up, because if you look at my firing footage, especially with the flywheeler one, the Mach-100 and the Siege 50, both of those were more consistent in going down range. But this thing's awesome, because this is 140 something rounds right here in this one spot. That doesn't do it for you? This thing could hit end strike ranges, and I still think that would be useful. It's really hard not to like this. And I'm amazed that I have to have this conversation with people. And I think I really liked this, so my entire opinion on Hyper was pretty positive. It also does something that we don't really have, like, in the whole ecosystem, like, especially with Rival is the only other thing. And as many of you know, I really don't like Rival. I've never liked Rival. At past the initial, like, Apollo Zeus, like, every Rival blaster was a major disappointment because it advertised accuracy and didn't have it. But for some reason, even to this day, probably even in this comment section, there are people like, what are you talking about? Rival is pinpoint accurate. It's more accurate than short darts. I have seen that comment a dozen times, that Rival is better than short darts. Rival is more accurate than short darts. And that's objectively and demonstrably false in every single way. But that's how people operate. And I know, like, the vocal minority is the worst part. Most of you could come up with your own decision, but it's like, I got played for not, like, oh my god, WALCOM only likes Hyper because he was given it. Did you not see my video on the Ultra? They sent me a beautiful signed Christmas card and some cool clothes that I still keep because they're NERF branded. And yet I absolutely dumped all over the Ultra one. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. And the worst part about NERF Ultra is that Ultra didn't really seem to have much of a purpose. Ultra was just different for the sake of being different. Hyper actually has a use, and if there's one blaster you absolutely need to buy, thank goodness it's the cheapest option. Because I'm pretty sure every single person who plays NERF or has any kind of NERF war will find a use for a 35 to 42 round. I can actually fit more than 40 in here, but I'm gonna say that's about the comfortable mark for a pistol. Like, and this hopper right here, I love this thing. So if it's sitting on I can open it like that, and I can dump rounds out of it, and I can also feed rounds back into it. I don't even have to pull it off the rail. It's awesome. Plus, it looks rad AF. And it amazes me that people are so hateful. And it's like, I know that 99% of the people commenting and or even in this comment section, in this chat, have ever touched Hyper. And I have, and I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. Is it perfect? No, but virtually nothing is. If you want to be like, oh, short darts are the best, well, yeah, short darts have been the best since like 2006. You didn't even know anything about short darts until last year, and we've been dealing with short darts of dubious qualities for the past 4 or 5 years, especially with worker darts. And I'm seeing all sorts of weird comments. And this is one I actually want to run by you guys, because I want to know where I'm wrong on this one. A lot of people are bringing up the ecological concerns of the ammo, the Hyper ammo, which I have no idea how this breaks down or anything if it's left outside for too long. For all we know, it disintegrates outside after like a week. I have no clue. I haven't tested that, and I highly doubt it. But I also assume there are laws. That I also know that companies, especially major corporations, can skirt laws. So I don't know. What I can tell you is that I never once heard of any of these concerns at all. It was never even on a radar when we were launching virtually just worker dart heads at each other since like 2014. Like, nobody has ever said anything about the fact that like every single worker dart was essentially one-time use only. You were basically firing caseless ammunition, sabots almost, because you'd fire the worker dart head and the foam would just kind of fling out somewhere, and that was an entire like $10 box of worker darts, and that would just happen. Nobody has said anything about that. Any war I ever go to, less than 1% of the darts gets left, but that's less than 1%. I can't find most of my short darts. Like, these ones are pretty good because they're purple, but they're not very bright. I can't find those after I fire them most of the time. They just blend into the ground. Venture Force Pro darts are the worst because they're black bodies with orange heads, and the head, of course, goes down into the ground first, so normally you don't even get to see the head. These are really easy to see in the grass, from what I can tell. Like, I was pleasantly surprised that I found almost every single shot that I fired, except for the ones that went into the really tall grass. But, again, where were these? Am I wrong? Like, I understand, like, yeah, of course, it's ecological, literally everything's an ecological concern. Why are we singling out this? Why is that suddenly the hill people want to die on? I'm not trying to be like, we shouldn't make more of an attempt, because I think as a community, at least from what I've seen, we do pretty well at making sure things are cleaned up and it's almost like we weren't there kind of scenario. But at the same time, like, why is this, like, I'm seeing dozens and dozens of comments about how bad Hyper is for the environment. And I'm not understanding, like, where this came from. It's the same color as those vest construction workers, so it's obviously going to be seen in the grass. Yeah, I agree. What do I think about the new Dart Zone short darts? I hope they're good. I really do. I'm not seeing anybody tapping in about the question that I just brought up. There's nothing dubious about 1.5 inches of foam backer rod with a washer felt pad and hot glue. You know it, nerfing Lionheart. You know it. Maybe because it's rubber instead of foam. Yeah, but we don't know the composition. According to Hasbro, I was actually in like a Zoom meeting with like Hasbro and like 19 other people. They said it's like a blend of like 2 different materials of TPU or something like that. TPE. Have I played Xenoblade 1? Yes, but I've never finished it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody like, yeah, you're right, WALCOM, or you're wrong, WALCOM, you're an idiot. Like, I'm willing to be proven broken, like, wrong here. Like, totally. I care about the environment as much as a millennial should. I also realize it's futile until the old people die, but, you know, I do what I can. We pick up darts. I donate almost every single dart I ever fire. You know, I try to minimize my stuff as much as possible. I'm not, like, super great at it, but I'm also not antagonistic about it either. I don't know why I'm being like, oh my god, WALCOM, how are you supporting Hyper? It's the worst thing ever. It is so bad for the environment. Birds are literally dropping out of the sky. I think the the North American, I'm trying to think of a stupid freaking bird name or something, but you know what I mean? Like, it just dropped dead. It just went extinct because of NERF Hyper. I don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. You're an idiot, WALCOM. Green equal bad. Yeah, boy. People get mad at small rubber balls are destroying the environment. People are going to the trash in the ocean that's floating around. Yeah, the size of an entire continent floating around. Nope. They probably used straws and murdered thousands of turtles. Yeah, I don't get it. I just looked it up. TP is biodegradable. Well, there you go. Drag made a comment about, with his dog there. The first reference I know of anybody choking Hazard and Snowball. Really? Like, okay, I understand that's a concern. Totally. How is a short dart not also the same exact damn concern? Am I wrong? That's the Mandalorian just said it because Hyper's bad. That's why. That's like the only thing I have seen or understood, and I'm getting tired of it, man. I really am. Like, why is this a thing? Why? If we're... I don't get it, man. I really don't. It's really like these last 3 days I've just wanted to choke people. Can you compare the size of a short dart next to a hyperball? Well, I did in the video. For those of you, so I want to go, let's rewind a little bit to Monday night when I got my hands on Hyper. Tuesday, I spent the entirety of Tuesday. I just found a short dart, so I'll talk about it. Working on that video, and that video almost killed me. I worked from, I think, 1 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next day. It sucked. And that's why that video might seem a little erratic. I cut out so much content. Honestly, I cut out more than I should have. I did have like an entire section. If I had my card still on my computer, I'd show you. I cut out a whole section where I was holding it with calipers and like showing that it's about 14.5 or 14.3 millimeters. It was a hell of a video, and honestly, like the video did well monetarily wise. I was actually really surprised, but I'm like the views were a little bit lower than I was expecting, and I'm not sure if maybe that cancels it out or something. Like I'm looking at the views and going like, oh, that could have done better, and I'm glad I'm to the point where it's like, wow, 30,000 views after a day, yeah, it could do better. But at the same time, like looking at the watch time, I was like, holy crap! So maybe I'm onto something. I can't tell. Could the video have been better? Yeah, heck yeah, it could have been better, but I nearly killed myself trying to do it. And then I lost all of, after that thing on Wednesday, because I like had to get it up before I was literally buttoning it up while on the Zoom call with Hasbro. And then after that was done, like made it go live and I went to sleep and I slept for like a day straight. Did McDoyle drop the boom again tonight? No, that's from last stream. I keep that up. Because people who donate like that deserve to have their name up there. I usually have like the top stream and most recent, but I moved away from that because it wasn't exactly fair, I felt. I don't know. Hyper is not stupid just because you say it is. Hyper is not stupid just because you say it is. Austin, I'd love for you to actually make your case in the chat on a civil level because I like Hyper. And I think Hyper does have a future, and I'm not going to pull the entirety of Hyper off 3 original blasters that look like they were pretty rushed. I explained all of my reasoning in that video. There are completely different mechanisms between all 3 blasters. Like Hasbro's just like, let's shove these out, see what happens, see what people like, see what people don't like, and tune our development from there. That's fine. That makes sense to me. It's not like you're buying a, $300, $500, $1,000 phone that gets replaced in a year with another $1,000 phone. You're buying a $30 Nerf blaster. So, is it worth picking up the Mediator XL if you already own the Retaliator? I like the Mediator. The Mediator is a tiny little pump action thing. I kind of dig it. I mean, thank you very much for the 5 ducats, Austin, but I'd love to get your feedback on why Hyper is bad. Nowhere, Buff Daddy. Also, major props to you from, like, heading to the Hasbro live stream from your bungalow in the Caribbean. That was, man, that's awesome. You talk about somebody dedicated to the craft, you know what I mean? you had to choose between one of these Nerf lines, what would it be? Elite 2.0 or Ultra? Well, I'd take Ultra any day of the week. Ultra isn't great, but it's also not the worst thing ever. I support Hyper. I must have missaid that. The way you said it was, Hyper is not stupid just because you say it is. Maybe I read that wrong. I'm an idiot, Austin. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm not a very intelligent individual. But that sounded to me like Hyper isn't good just because you say it is. That's what it kind of came off to me. Hey, we had sun to burn to recover from. Well, happy vacation to the newlyweds. That's awesome. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. I'm glad to hear that you guys are safe. Mr. Chemsburger, is spending money on Nerf worth it anymore? Yes. Yes, definitely. Especially if you like a thing. Half the fun of the hobby is finding something you like and making it good. You know what I mean? Billy the Kid, I think people are upset because Nerf dropped the ball numerous times. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Billy the Kid. And I agree, but I also think that people are spoiled now. I tried to make this apparent with the last live stream we did on the tier list, but it's like, Nerf has always been like 1 out of 5 blasters are good. They've always been like that. And I think it's just because we have Dart Zone now. And remember, Dart Zone, you know, they do like, they weren't pushing the envelope that hard. Like, they were putting out like, oh yeah, this is pretty decent, but it's just the same blaster we had the last 2 years. Only recently have they really been like, they put out like 4 blasters a year and like 3 of them are absolute bangers. I think we're just spoiled and we outgrew it, but it's like, there's still like, nobody beats Nerf when it comes to like, usually anyway, design quality and stuff like that. Usually it's really good. Like, Nerf plastic paints a hell of a lot better than any other plastic I've dealt with. So, the Dart Zone Sniper leak, it's not a leak, okay? It's not a leak. They literally posted it on their own blog and emailed it to everybody. And also, it's just a Nexus Pro in a slightly different shell. It looks cool, but it's not, like, new. Hyper is going to be mediocre. I don't think... This holds 150 rounds in the same position that a 12-round or 15-round short dart shooter would hit. If you can't find love in that, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Especially once people start, like, 3D printing, like, magazines and blasters that use Hyper. Holy crap, that's gonna be amazing. WALCOM, people say it's a leak because nobody knows how to read. Yeah, I agree. It's literally posted on their own website. If you can Google it and go to an official source, it's not a leak. Is Hyper going to kill Rival? Hasbro did state that they are going to coexist for right now. So, don't expect it to die, but it's also a company, so they're probably going to put out one Rival blaster this year, maybe one next year, and then they're done. It's because more content creators said it had horrible accuracy. That's true. And it was hard to find because it was small, and I think I could use a handful of sidearms because of small ammo. I did point out in my video, like, I put out the marks and everything for everything that wasn't the Slamfire and the Slamfire and the Siege 50, because screw that, and of course Flywheel, because again, screw that. Yeah, it's not very accurate. Neither was Rival, and you all love Rival. You god cannot shut the heck up about how awesome Rival is. Rival is just as, if not more, inaccurate. In fact, I made the argument that the Rival curve, like, sideswipe was good because when I did the whole spiking the round down, it was 1,000% more accurate than any other Rival blaster I've ever used. Nothing else will beat the Diatron for me. Yeah, no, I like the Diatron. Favorite flavor of cheesecake? I'm a simple man. I'll do turtle cheesecake, I guess is pretty good. One of the complaints with the Mach-100, there's a lot of complaints about the Mach-100, is that it sometimes fires 2 rounds at once. Do you think it's possible it becomes a whole point of the Hyper Blaster full auto shotgun? Yeah, definitely. As I said multiple times in my video, I believe it's the fundamental aspects of Hyper is fire rate over anything else. Fire rate, capacity over everything else. It is amazing to me that the Mach-100 is physically massive as it is for such a small hopper. I know that they wouldn't put like a 500 round hopper on here because they don't want to have to try to include 500 rounds in the box. And that makes sense. I mean, the ammo, and I want to talk more about the ammo in the future, is very interesting when it comes to, like, it obviously takes a little bit more for them to make than just simple foam. And keep in mind that Hasbro hasn't made really anything else like this before. So the actual production run of Hyper so far is probably pretty small. That being said, does this work about as well as a Percy's when it comes to, like, running and gunning? Sure. Like, people are like, oh my god, you have to shake the blaster to get it to... Yes, literally every single of the Percy's, the Nemesis, the Prometheus, all of those require you to do that. And you're lying if they say they don't. And if you think none of those blasters ever jam, you're lying. Because they do, all the time. I know, because I have all of them. The Percy's gets a little bit more of a leeway, though, because it does include a 9.6 volt rechargeable battery. This is like, you know, normal D-cell batteries. The Percy's had the rechargeable, and I think that helps, because one of the main things about this blaster that bogs down the entire system is that agitator. That definitely bogs down the entire system, and they also tried to make this hopper, like, ludicrously small. And I don't think that was the right move at all. It's, like, not big enough, even remotely. But, do I think, like, you could buy one of these, fill up the hopper, take it to a war, and run around and use it and shoot people with and be pretty happy with what you got? Yeah. Is it perfect? Heck no. Far from it. But it's not like a 0 out of 10 blaster because it's not flawless. I don't know why that's so hard to believe. People are like, oh my god, the Mach-100 is trash. If you had to spend $70 on this thing, you would have panned it. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Because I said the Warden was a piece of crap, and how many people do it to this day still call me an idiot because their Warden works fine, or I was too rough for it, or I'm an adult and I shouldn't be playing with kids' toys, and kids don't break toys ever. Kids aren't as rough with their toys. Kids aren't as strong. All these excuses. All of them. It's like I don't know what I'm talking about when they haven't touched the blaster. Is there a use for something like this? Certainly. Are some people going to love this blaster? Yes. It's a solid 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, maybe, you could argue. It's not worthless. And who knows? Later on, in 6 months, they might put out another version of this blaster that works fine once they get production up and running. Also, they need to bitch slap whoever's in marketing decides the name of the blaster is the capacity instead of the practical capacity. I brought this up in my video as well. It doesn't say Mach-100 anywhere on the blaster. And I think, because like I've done this before, there's some blasters where it's like, oh, the capacity is 18. I can fit 21. Am I kind of stretching it when I do that? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna die. Sometimes the first shot will jam, but it can do it. So, I mean, 100 rounds in this, it's a bit much. It can do it though. Would you want NERF to make their own blaster line that uses short darts? Yeah, but there's no point. Like, they're not going to compete with Dart Zone. At all. They don't want to. Like, what is NERF going to do differently that Dart Zone won't do? They're not. They're not going to do it. They just have more money. That's it. I think this is an okay blaster. I don't think this is an absolute plastic sin against God. I think it's okay. I guarantee you throwing a 3S LiPo in it will change it up a little bit. Won't fix everything, but it will help it a little bit. Cat, you don't sleep there, buddy. You almost got hit. Hey, you got a new pillow, though. This thing, I didn't like it. I honestly, but it was also one of the most reliable of the entire line. This hopper eats butt. Like, it is horrible. Absolutely awful. Hated this hopper the most. I don't really like the design of this thing, to be perfectly honest, but it was consistently one of the better options, which I find amusing. Would you be able to, for 40 bucks, I think this offers a heck of a lot. I'm being super sincere about that too. I think for $40 you get, what, 40 rounds, unheard of, almost in NERF, slamfire pump action, and it's a pretty thin package. So it's like right there, that hits a bunch of the marks. Is it reliable? Kinda. not really, but if you have it pointed down pretty much every single time you prime it, it should work pretty okay. So it's like, yeah, it's an okay blaster. And would I necessarily want to rely on something like this? No, because I don't really see the primary aspect of Hyper yet. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. Absolutely. I cannot think of a reason why you would not want to have this on you. Like, even if it's like your last-ditch tertiary blaster, you would like to have this. Wait, is there a jam door for the Mach-100? Yes, the Mach-100 has a jam door on the side. Can Nerf make blasters that shoot higher than 100 FPS? Well, yes, all the Hyper line, and most of the Rival line, and most of the Ultra line shoot over 100 FPS. I think the Mach-100 needs to be renamed to Popcorn Maker. Imagine Select Fire Rival, I guess, or Hyper blaster with 3-round burst. That's a little hard. Would be cool, but yeah. Not out of a hopper, anyway. Hyper could use some improvements, then they get all my money and they just need detail. Well, Nerf will release Hyper Powder. The Nerf Rival, or the Nerf Hyper Mach-100 is $70. Best Rival blaster for new Nerf Rival users. Percy's. Buy one before they disappear. And I think you can still get them for $100 on Walmart's website. Fortnite 6 HS is on Amazon. Is that news? Yes, technically that is news. Is it for sale? Nerf. Oh god. Nerf Fortnite. So sort by newest. So if that's out, yep, there it is. It's $20? Jesus. Thursday, May 27th. Never gonna get a video out before I move. $20. $20. Why is it $20? I'm never gonna do a video on this. Place your order. Done. Going okay, Troy. It's going okay. So, there is something that I don't know if anybody else has noticed about the Hyper ammo that they have. I saw a couple of people who also have Hyper in the comments section. Verified. A lot of my Hyper ammo is not good. I'll say that much. I noticed it when I was on, like, the live stream. A lot of the Hyper ammo is not a smooth orb. It is very, very... Like, you can see it just in that. See how it's not, like... You see it? Can you see that? Look at the edges. You notice how it's not, like, ball-shaped? Was that pretty obvious? So, yeah, lumpy Hyper. The Hyper ammo, from a lot of them that I look at, it looks like a filament that has been, like, construed into a ball and then had some kind of dimple-shaped, like, compression smashed into it that melted it into a ball. I can see what looks to be a string that is wrapped all around the Hyper thing, and that's how the ammo was made. Almost like it was squirted into like a mold and then just squished with ball and then put out. That is really interesting to me, and also probably where a lot of the problems come. Because some shots shoot really good, others don't. And having lumpy ammo is definitely not good. So, yeah. I don't know how many other people had that problem. I love this setup right here so freaking much. But it's still okay. Oh, the wife just helped me out pretty good. I was, Yesterday I had to watch my nieces because I'm moving. I am moving at the end of the, by the way. So this might be one of the last streams in this location. But was watching them left my inhaler over there. And I think actually, Lucha, if you are still gonna come over tomorrow, I don't know if I have it, I'll have to check, but I think 1/2-inch brass, whatever 1930 seconds fits into, so like 9/16 fits into 1930 seconds, right? So 1930 seconds I think fits in 1/2-inch, and I think that 1/2-inch will fit ultra or hyper perfectly. Anyways, I was watching the girls. I left my inhaler over there, and I texted my older brother. I'm like, hey, did I leave my inhaler over there? And he texts me back at 8:30 in the morning saying yes. And so I went the entire night without my inhaler, which sucked because I didn't want to just like walk into his house while he was sleeping and take my inhaler back. And he said he left it on the roof of my car, so like I text my wife, hey, it's kind of hard for me to get out of bed right now. I can't breathe. Can you get me my inhaler? And she's like, it's not there. Like, it's on my car. She's like, it's not there. Like, what the heck? Turns out he left it on my car last night and didn't text me about it this morning. So when I went to the store last night, yeah, I found the inhaler smashed, flattened on the side of the road and didn't have an inhaler. She just managed to refill that order there. TI with a $5 donation says, appreciate the optimism for the new Hyper ammo. Too early to hate. I agree. What would be a good primary to pair with the Rush 40? Anything with distance. So Nexus Pro, whatever, it doesn't matter. I honestly, like, this is just for standard. Like, if you were to, like, if I were like elite only, well, this would absolutely shred elite blasters. But in like a major war with like a, Nexus Pro and stuff like that, having one of these clipped to your waist and just being able to pull this out and rattle off shots with it and let it go, like you could go like a whole war, especially HVZ with something like this. Like HVZ, this is gonna absolutely shrek HVZ. So yeah, I think it'd work great for a caliber. Koraku. Rush 40 looks like a Mass Effect pistol. Oh, I've only played Mass Effect 1 so long. Oh my god, there's like 30 Mass Effect pistols. But honestly, like I could see it looking like any of them. So, not wrong. Do you think there will be an issue with dirt and dust sticking to hyper rounds? Yes, there is an issue. Has it caused problems? No. But yeah, they do definitely pick up little tiny. Have you loaded a Nerf grenade with hyper rounds? We're going to test that tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I'm going to make a video on that. Oh, somebody said, how old are you? Yes, I am 30. It's a 40-round chrono, so I like it even if it gets a little finicky. I think, honestly, like, this hopper is pretty well stuffed. Like, I can't fit anything more than that. And... no! Please tell me Coney wasn't here to clip that. But, again, another shot. Like, it hits hard, it stings. It's like, you might be able to see the redness on this finger right there. Like, it hits pretty hard, point blank. And, yeah, it's, I don't think you'll have much of a problem with the Rush. I think the Rush is the best. Please try starching those green boys. I'm not going to get powder inside all of my blasters. It's not that bad. It's not bad enough to warrant that. You have calipers to measure how big they are. They are like 14.3. Like, obviously they're squishy, so it's hard to tell, but they're like 14.3. Oh, somebody was asking about them compared to short dart. It looks really similar on camera. Like, you can painfully see they're bigger. The thing is, you got to make sure, you got to understand they're bigger in every direction, so they don't really fit well. Like, you could technically force that in there, but yeah, it's not going to work very well. One thing I do want to point out that's cool about this whole Hyper thing is that these require a lot less energy to shoot. The plunger tubes that I've seen in the Hyper stuff is not very big, which is like cool. Like bolt action Hyper would actually be pretty rad. Did you jam any of your NERF Hyper? I had non-fires because the rounds didn't feed in, but I didn't have any actual jams. Except for with the Mach-100, if you call the hopper jamming up a jam. What is the name of that new Fortnite blaster? Looks like an M16. I actually don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. Looks like an M16 MP7, something like that, or MP5. Could you possibly take a look at the Knockout Strife putting modding capability? I mean, maybe. It's like, so I'm shifting away from doing content for content's sake. And it's hard to do videos like that because like most of you have already seen another video. I'm trying to come to a decision if I want to run, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, it's like, are you going to do a video on X? It's like, well, the only reason you know of X is because somebody else did a video on it. So are you going to sit there and watch 12 minutes of me talking about X? Probably not. You'll see it for 3 minutes and go like, okay, that's enough. And then my video gets an average watch duration of like 4 minutes. And I'm like, oh, people have already seen a review, so they don't really care too much about the actual content. Meanwhile, when I do my reviews now, or videos in general, I'm trying to make sure that somebody who doesn't really know the hobby can watch it. So like I'm using like cut down Nerf darts or short darts, and then I always show them next to a stock Nerf dart so people can like, oh, it shoots a cut down Nerf dart. You all know that, but I'm doing that so if somebody who like an airsofter clicks on it, they're like, what is this Nerf crap? They have an idea. It's the Zesty SMG. Okay. You like double chocolate muffin or a good range test? I'm not really a fan of chocolate, so probably not. You're seeing getting closer and closer to airsoft. Yeah, I guess. It'll still be different. This is a hell of a lot more satisfying to shoot. This is way more satisfying to shoot than airsoft. And I say that with a $200 airsoft bolt action. That thing's super accurate. All day long, it's super accurate. The range is stupid, but it's also like, it's like less satisfying than shooting a 22. Shooting something like this is a lot more fun. Sounds like the rounds aren't sticking to a wet, dry thing. They're more sticking because, yes, David, that is 100% correct. Thank you for paying attention. You think Hyper rounds are going to be pirated soon? I don't think so. I do think there's potential for like a dense rubber version of this, like the gotcha rounds to come out. People were asking if gotcha fits inside the Hyper. I haven't tested that yet, but they are different diameters, so I kind of doubt it. Sugar cookies or chocolates? You see, like right there, I'd probably go with sugar cookies. Not a huge fan of chocolate. I'll eat it, but I'm not like, there's other things I like more. Are you excited for the upcoming NERF Hyper Blasters and stuff that Zard Zone Busby has coming to? Yeah, I'm definitely interested in what we talked about, like the stuff that Dart Zone has coming out. We haven't talked about the Striker, but that's basically just a what do you call it? It's just a reshelled Nexus Pro as far. I don't think it's anything super different. They still have, I think they said they had 10 new blasters coming this year. So, and they confirmed that the Mark III was going to be a flywheeler, which is interesting, but I'll have to wait and see what they actually do with it. I think there's a huge market for like a flywheeler with a rechargeable, like decent, like basically take a Hyper battery, or not Hyper, I'm so tired of Ultra Rival Hyper. It doesn't explain what the actual round is, so the terms seem almost interchangeable. It's really frustrating. Take the Percy's battery, you know, 9.6 volt, what, NiCad or something? Maybe it was lithium ion, I actually don't remember. Anyway, take that battery and put it inside of a flywheeler with select fire and stuff like that, and I think that would still hit 130 FPS plus and have a lot of cool features. Full auto, select fire. Yeah. Gotcha does not work in Springers, not without rebarreling. Good to know. Ice cream cake or regular cake? Now you're asking the deep questions. Doesn't ice cream cake usually have cake in it? Because it's like regular cake without ice cream is kind of like sacrilege. But ice cream without cake is also deeply unsettling. Do you think Hyper will inspire other companies like Xshot or Dartzone to make Hyper-compatible blasters? Maybe, and probably not. The reason why I say probably not is because this is obviously using some kind of newfangled machining, thing that I don't think the other companies will very easily be able to replicate. It's not like another company is going to dump millions of dollars into building a factory to make these when they could just make short darts. Thank you, MLG Squirrel. Can you do a video? Well, theoretically, I'm doing a video right now. In the form of a live stream. Pancakes or waffles? I prefer waffles, but they're way harder to make than pancakes, so usually have pancakes. Do a video on the Tomahawk 60. I will, when it's released. That's actually another thing I've received, like, a whole bunch. I even received, like, 2 emails on it. People were like, how come you haven't done a video on the Tomahawk 60? Can you tell me how it is yet? It's like, bruh, it's not out yet. I don't have one. If you lived in the My Hero Academia universe, what would your quirk be? I'd probably just be Fat Gum. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty rad quirk to begin with, so I'd be okay with that one. Where can I get Hyper? Hudson, it should be available at end of June, early July. Do you like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Not really, Elijah. Not really a big fan of even Super Sentai. Just not. If you lived in the AOT universe, what Titan Shifter would you be? Beast Titan. Or Armored Titan. Did you get cut in your face? Or is that a scar or something? It does look like a pretty rad scar, don't it? No, I'm pretty sure I just hit my head this morning. And it's just a bruise or something. I don't know. Glad to know that if I ever do get, like, jibbed in the face, like, it could look okay. Do you like Beyblade? I do like Beyblade. What is the best sniper gun? Please tell us. Probably the Pharaoh with the short dart kit. In my opinion. I think it's not as powerful, but I think that's better than the full L96 kit from Worker, just because it's way cheaper, way more accessible, and way lighter of a priming weight. I will do that video still. Would you rather use the uppercut or the Warden? Probably the Warden, because I would assume I can use the Warden without breaking it now that I know how it breaks. Did you say much about your interactions with the Hasbro people during your Hyper meetings? I really didn't have a whole lot of interactions. They didn't specifically say anything in there we couldn't reset. We, like, tell you guys, we just couldn't record it. I mean, it was vaguely interesting. I also, like, asked a question. I don't think any of them understood what I was trying to ask, so they basically just regurgitated stuff at me. What if I wanted a full dart sniper? Buy the Fortnite ones. What do you think about the redesigned Discord logo? I don't even notice it being redesigned, to be perfectly honest. Like, it seriously doesn't even look different. Are you talking about the font and stuff? It's like, man, I don't really care. It's a logo. Aizawa or All Might. All Might carried that show so freaking hard, it's not even funny. Only reason to watch that show. How often have you had the opportunity to interact, have meetings with Hasbro? This was the first. I've never met Hasbro in person because I've never had the money to go to, like, you know, Toy Fair or anything like that. Now, this year I had the money. Oh my god, thank you! I had the money, and it didn't happen. So hopefully next year we're going. And, like, next year, hopefully it's like me, Lucha, Dr. Flux, we all go. And we just, like, destroy the place. Asking the hard-hitting journalism questions, like, what's your favorite color? Based off your interactions with Hasbro, do you think they understand the modding community? I think they do, and I also think they don't give a flip. And they don't have to, because you don't become a multi-billion-dollar biggest toy manufacturer in the world by listening to a couple of nerds in their basement with webcams. Is this like a press conference where everyone crowding around you asking questions? Pretty much. That's how they usually go. Again, this will be probably, I think it will be the second to last. next live stream, assuming we do one, will be the last one here. After that, not only will live streams become more frequent, especially on Twitch, but we'll be in the studio. So we'll have better internet. We'll be streaming way more often. Yeah. So this is like the last one where you'll see this. Next time well, again, maybe next week. We may skip next week just because we need some time to actually move everything. If you go to New York Toy Fair, please do a meetup. Yeah, probably. As far as I know, I am going to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle if you had tickets for that. Although I'm not like super, I have no idea what's going on with that. I also am like, he changed the name of the event and I'm like, oh. Now it's Epic Blaster Battle. And now he's inviting a whole bunch of people, like new people. And it's like, okay, well now I'm like, there's no even point for me going since everybody's going to go there to see like PDK and stuff like that. They don't give a flying flip about me. Was there any other blasters than Hyper at the meeting? No, it was just Hyper. Just do a video on the Tomahawk. I don't have one. Next time you ask, I'm going to ban you. And you can wait for somebody else's video. Because I don't have one. Kind of interesting how there's a guy that makes Nerf gun reviews, purchased a Warden, and didn't break it on camera. I mean, I wasn't saying I was like going out of my way to break the Warden, but I also wasn't trying to be like super like easy with it. I've been contemplating on moving to Washington. Should I? That's a difficult question. It rains most of the year. I'd say probably like at least 200 days of the year it rains, but I find rain comfy. If you don't mind staying inside, you know, a lot of the time, it's a pretty comfy place, especially depending on where you live. I wouldn't want to live in Eastern Washington at all. I lived there for 6 months and it was absolute hell because we went from 100-degree summers to like negative 20-degree winters in like the drop of a hat. It's pretty mild climate. It's okay. People are okay. I liked Boise, like Idaho, a lot more than I liked Washington for a variety of reasons. But Washington it's comfortable here. I grew up here, but it's honestly not that bad, Supa. Have you met Coop or Drek? I have not met Coop. I have met Drek. Was the low blow going to be a slam fire? No. Low blow was just lever action, and I will finish that. Have you ever modded an AF Spectrum? No, it's Strife, but I'd rather mod a Strife because I can do so much more with the Strife. WALCOM, is the Saturn still your favorite shotgun-based blaster? No, that'd be the Firefly Project Soldier. The Firefly with the buckshot rounds. I mean, stock? Yeah, it's freaking amazing stock, so. Since Hyper Ammo is contentious right now, and Nerf hired you to create a new line of ammo type, what would you make? Oh god, that would be the worst decision they could ever make ever. I'd make Airsoft. Because Airsoft works. No love for the Trilogy tube back. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I have the Trilogy, like, with the mag and stuff on it, that I got from, Dr. Flux, who got it from Domoshevsky. And the problem with it is, like, it's, like, not only super huge and awkward, but his Trilogy doesn't seem to work that well, and it jams up constantly. I actually managed to get a round stuck in there to the point where I couldn't get it out. Nerf Strife or Nerf Ultra Amp? Well, for modding the Ultra Amp, holy crap, I need to finish that video. I'm so sorry, Kiryaka. I meant to get that video done like 3 weeks ago and I still haven't. What was the question you asked the Hasbro people that they didn't get? If they planned on using Hyper in any way that isn't really used in Nerf currently, pretty much is the way I asked it. They thought I was just talking about, like, the capacity one. Like, no, are you guys going to do, like, you know, internal mag 2-fed multi-round shotguns and stuff like that? How invested should I stay in Rival going forward? Lord of Dapit, I would say that it's Hyper, or Rival is still a pretty safe bet, because there's, you know, millions of rounds out there and dozens of blasters that fire it, and it's still readily easily to get. And I mean, Dart Zone's coming out with the monolith, which looks rad, so I would say it's still safe to get into that ecosystem. Have you seen Invincible? I've seen a little bit of it. As a game moderator, would you use Demolisher Missiles or Mega? Demolisher Missiles I would use specifically for breaking shields. If I had shield users, I would not let a shield user use any blaster, or if they could use a blaster, it would have to be like a Jolt. Like specifically a Jolt. I think shields are important to games because they're dynamic cover, and it helps people who don't necessarily want to use a blaster play and be effective as support, and there's really not a whole lot of ways you can play support in a game. And I think that's good, especially if there's no objectives, or if shield users can't like interact with objectives. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of people don't agree. That's whatever. But for breaking shields, Mega's way too effective. Mega, I always said if you're tagged up by Mega, it should be double respawn time, or double lives lost. It should basically super kill you. What kind of drone are you buying? I already bought the drone. I also already crashed the drone. I'm just trying to recoup some of that money. But I bought a Mavic Air 2S. This bag right here, check this out. I got a bag, and in that bag is a thing that I flew immediately, like day 3, full bore into my neighbor's roof. And I'm not pleased with myself for doing that, but still flies. Technically, everything still works. Not as well as it did when I first got it, but yeah, you can see she's kind of chewed up right there, because shingles are really, really bad. Oh, also on the bottom. But I'm still impressed that it works as well as it does. I thought it'd never fly again. Flies fine. The gimbal is bent somewhere, and it's not quite steady, but it still works. And you can only do, like, stupid cat. You can also do, like, 2 replacements with the insurance. So I didn't feel like I should do a replacement yet if it's still technically... I'm gonna crash this one a lot more. The way it died was, I had it in sport mode, which disables all of, like, the proximity sensors, which was fine. And I, you know, full board it to fly it, and I was gonna have it lift up over my neighbor's roof. And when the thing was tilted at full speed, basically going like this instead of like this, when I hit up, it didn't go up very fast, and it just right into their roof. So... Hyper is bad. Wrong. Because the ammo is accurate. Wrong. Rival is inaccurate. You guys love it. So don't... God! Hard to find in grass. Wrong. It's really easy to find. It is way easier to see in grass than any other dart besides maybe bright orange, like the old style streamlines. It's way easier to see in grass than Rival was, and it's infinitely easier to see in grass than these. These are impossible to see in grass because all you see is that. I don't know why people who don't have the ammo make these really wild claims. Like, I was impressed with how easy it was to find this ammo in grass. I was like, wow, this is, like, I showed it off in video. I was like, it's really easy to see where the bright green balls are. And it's sticky. Again, that's not quite true. When we say sticky, we don't mean the round is physically wet, damp, sticky. It doesn't stick to anything at all. Not even remotely. It does not stick. What it does is it has friction against other rounds. Like, holy crap. Like, I know for a fact they haven't seen just my video to make those statements, but like, it bothers me. Like, hi, I've never even smelled Hyper, and I'm going to be an authority on it. It's like, holy crap. Like, some of that's my fault. Sure. That's fine. But it is amazing how many people, like, I swear they watched 4 minutes of my video and like, oh yeah, it's trash. And yet I'm here like, dude, it's freaking awesome. Like, on a lot of ways is it cool. People are like, oh, you only say that because NERF gave it to you for free. Clearly you have not seen my videos then. because I have dumped on Hyper, or I've dumped on Elite or Ultra so bad, and Elite 2.0. Like, most of my videos on NERF have been pretty dismal. Well, I probably will Mandalorian, but fewer people are gonna watch those ones. That's the problem with me, like, putting together a video as encompassing as Hyper and trying to make it under 20 minutes. It was rough. That video was 19, 20 hours of editing. It sucked. I can't believe there are people who are like, look at this, like, wow, that's only 40 rounds with another 100 in the same space that I'd have like a 15 dart Chronos. Well, at least with the Chronos, I could hit something. It's like, you don't have 150 rounds. And also, if you're within 60 feet of me, I'm going to hit you with this no problem. So, holy crap, people. It blows my mind. It really does. Like, and they completely ignore the fact that, like, so many of the shots from these blasters almost cleared my property with me basically pointing the blaster down to hopefully not clear the property. Do you think there's a Mega 2.0? There is. Mega XL. That will be a thing coming, and I've actually seen it, and it's interesting. It does kind of look like the Rush 40, maybe the only one I get since I do like pistols. Yeah, the Rush 40 is really good. 5 out of 5. Awesome. Like, oh, it's not the most accurate blaster. Who cares? It carries a billion rounds on a tiny form factor at 115 FPS stock. Like, oh, it's not the most accurate blaster. Who cares? Not every blaster has to be pinpoint accurate. If you want every blaster to be pinpoint accurate, use freaking ballistic balls at 12 FPS or something. You think that's better than a short dart? That's more accurate. Would these be scarable? I doubt it. I think I fired some of the gotcha rounds out of a scar barrel and they reacted really weirdly. Do you think they will ever get NERF Ultra to check? Oh, I believe they have NERF Ultra pinpoint darts coming, which may fix a lot of the problems with them. If the heads are more solid and they, like, basically if the heads have Hyper rounds glued to the front of them, I bet they'd be pretty good. How much is the Siege's accuracy of the hop-up? It's a little bit better, Mandalorian. It's not a heck of a lot better. It's a little bit better. It seems a little more reliable. But again, you guys love Rival. Oh my god, you guys love it. You can't tell me you don't love Rival. How many frickin' people in my comment section are like, you don't like Rival? It's the most accurate Nerf dart ever made. It's so much better than short darts. It's not even funny. I still get those comments daily. And it's like, holy crap, where do you people come from? So I can make sure to lock that off. Because Rival was the most inaccurate. Like, it was as bad in many cases as Hyper or Ultra. In so many rules. Like, I'd almost rather use Ultra, but I could also hit like 1,000 rounds of Rival in the space of like 30 rounds of Ultra. So that's fine. But it's like now, like, Hyper like firmly replaces Rival in my opinion. I'm so sick of these names. You tell how much I struggle to not go Hyper, Ultra, Mega. Like, Mega makes sense because it's big, but every single other one, like, makes no sense. Why the decision of not having the amount of ammo available in the package? I don't think they should have put any name on, like, round capacity on the actual thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it should have had Hyper. They just should have called it the Rush and holds over 30 rounds, and that would have been good. Technically, I have 40 rounds in this thing, and it works fine. I could have like 60 in the Mach-100 and it doesn't work, so. There's the Ultra. You think the thing with the addition? Hyper, we will compete with Dart Zone, Adventure Forces Pro Line? Yeah, I definitely do. It's still not the same though, but if they could get Hyper running semi-reliably, 50% better than it is right now, I think it will absolutely compete with Dart Zones. Short darts. I need a drink. Hyper Ultra Mega sounds like something you might say Punchy. Yeah, it sounds like something from Gurren Lagann. Do you think that the Rush 40 is better than a Rival Chronos? Stock? Yes, infinitely. Holy crap. This thing is so good, stock. Like, oh, it's not the most accurate blaster ever. Who cares? Follow up your next shot with another shot. Fire 3 shots for every 1 shot. Like, think about that. Do you really think you can't hit somebody with 3 shots compared to 1 shot? Like, 5 shots. 5 to 1 almost. You could do it. What the next Hyper Blaster could be? I have no clue. I'm assuming they'll probably reshell the bejesus out of all these. I am hoping that we get, something akin to, like, the Sportsman with the really ratchety prime. And I do hope that we get revolvers, which would be really good for Ultra or Hyper. And I hope we get magazines. You've seen Mega SL? Yes, I have. I actually had somebody email me pictures that looked like they were literally taken from like a bush of like a Hasbro like shoot. I don't know what the heck those were about. But yeah, they showed off. There were some blasters in there that I saw that I couldn't get a good look at the Elite 2.0 ones, although they were there. But I did get to see, I have seen Mega XL before, and now I've seen Mega XL again, and I'm curious. It's definitely different. It's not the same. It's hyper fun. Very fun. I hope to shoot Lucha a lot tomorrow. WALCOM, can you possibly say if the same ammo the Mega XL uses? I'm not gonna... I can only speculate, because I haven't actually seen the ammo. But I can tell you, from the looks of it, it doesn't look normal. Nerf rival Nemesis or the Adventure Force Quoton? The Quoton. I don't like either of them, to be perfectly honest. I think the thing was, this is Quantum. I think the Quantum's better. I don't like the Nemesis, sorry. I really don't. I want a lever action Hyper Blaster. That'd be kind of cool. Does it hurt? Yeah, point blank it does. What do you think of the new red darts from Dart Zone? Hopefully they're good. Definitely easier to see in frickin'... I don't know where I put that short dart at, but easier to see than short darts, that's for sure. The current ones, the pro darts. There is concerns from me that, like, why would I would still use pro darts, because pro darts are impossible to see when they're traveling through the air. So if I want to be a just absolute butthole, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But... I put my... Let's just do a thingy where we do a thingy with a dinghy. Boop. Look at that. It's all beautiful, man. Do you think Hyper will save Nerf? I don't think Nerf needs saving. Are you joking? Hasbro makes more money off Nerf than Dart Zone, Zuru, Buzzbee combined times 30. Is Hyper bolt action or good ultra ammo fair? Either way, I'll be happy. I think they could do a bolt action. I'm building a modded Adventure Force Spectrum. I was wondering whether it is worth switching to half-length darts in a flywheel system. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god. Are you doing anything for the summer? Apparently going to Jared's Epic Blaster Battle, and then doing a crap ton of work on the new house. Should be fun. Should be really fun. Because there's a lot that gets to be done, and hopefully we get enough done that, like, it's super easy for the rest of the year. Have you done the Strong Arm Drop Cylinder mod? Yes. You play Resident Evil games occasionally. I'm not like a huge fan. And if they make a hyper version of the rival Prometheus, that would be the best thing ever. I think they can, definitely. I think the problem is that the amount of rounds, like they're trying to charge you $12 for 50 rounds, right? So if they have 400 rounds, they have to make that worth like $90, and I don't think they'll do that. Probably not, but can you share the Mega XL? No. I actually, the person who emailed me them left the EXIF data in, so I actually could see exactly where those photos were taken. It's hopefully they only sent them to me because I was like, oh snap, dude. Not good. And the only reason I knew that is because I saved them to my phone to get a better look at them. I just hit download, and I was browsing through my phone, and it's like, locations. I'm like, what are these? What? I've never been. Oh, that's not good. I could literally see exactly where those pictures were taken on it. Are Adventure Force halflings good for flywheels? Yes. Would it be worth getting the work kit for the long shot? Totally. Who do you main in Apex Legends? If I had to play right now, I'd probably main Loba. Otherwise, previously, I played mostly Lifeline. How much does a Hyper Rush 40 cost? $30. How many Hyper Mags would fit in an Elite Mag space? If they make a Hyper Mag, like, think about it. This is 100 rounds. I know it's hard because I have the green screen up and it's green screening all the ammo. It looks so weird. But, yeah, this is 100 rounds. So I would imagine a magazine with just like one hole and a follower that goes all the way up like that would fit like 50 rounds easy. There's no ammo, Walcom. You like Fortnite? I don't like the building in Fortnite. The building in Fortnite is brainless and spammy, and it really does not, it's not fun. You don't really think about how you build in Fortnite besides building color and then making holes where floors used to be to surprise people. When will the Milsic video come out? It will come out next week, for sure. I'm almost done with it. It's been a monster of a video. I fired that thing like 3,000, 4,000 times. Do you like Apex Legends? Yeah, it's okay. I don't play it that much, but I do like it. One of the reasons why I like it is because you don't die instantly. I don't like dying instantly. I think it's dumb. I think if I get shot at, I should be able to turn around and fight back. One of the reasons I like Halo a lot as a kid. It's like Halo had a pretty low time to kill. High time to kill, sorry. Are you disappointed, pleased by the Mark II accessories? I haven't picked any up. Mark II is an interesting beast, but I think people are trying to do more with it than what it was supposed to be. What is your opinion on NERF mobile games? I have not played any of them. I think I've seen one and it looks awful. You play Call of Duty Modern Warfare? No. I have not played Call of Duty since Black Ops 4, and I didn't play that a whole lot. I did play Warzone a little bit. I think there were too many hackers, though. Do you think it would be possible to print a Villainator drum? Yes, that has the barrels aligned instead of offset to shoot two at once. You do not have the air power to shoot two at once. That would be the problem. You think you can hack the Hyper Blaster to shoot a dart? I had a dart here somewhere. You guys can't see the dart or anything. I hate this. Hey, it fires it. There we go. Life hacked! Are you a big fan of Black Ops Zombies? Not really. I found those game modes to be pretty boring. I mean, I've played them a lot, but yeah, they got pretty boring. Are you excited for the Mark III? Potentially. Have you played Valheim? Yes. I think I have like 40, 50 hours in Valheim. Use the green screen to test color schemes on a blaster. Technically possible. Invisible ammo. Just have to hack all of my opponent's optics to chroma key out green. Have you seen the 3D printed Shell F? No, I have not seen the 3D printed Shell F. But how well? It was about end strike levels of well, to be perfectly honest. How has Tab G treated you recently? I hate that. I never want to play it again. Talk about a game that's virtually ruined my life. The problem I have with Tabga is you die instantly. All the time. And there's no way to tell if, like how you died. Because there's no, answer how you died. I have clips on my computer where I had like 280 health and died instantly. And it's like, how? Like, and then there's like every 5th or 6th game, you'll just land and everybody on the server will die instantly to somebody with a Chinese name because they're hacking. And it's like, how do I know if somebody's actually hacking, toggling, or just really good at the game? Like, it's impossible. And it's frustrating. They could save a lot of frustration by just telling me how I died, like who killed me with what from where. It would save so much effort. The movement system and stuff in that game is the most fun, but I wish you had like 3 times the health you currently have. I wish you could take more than 1 shot before dying out. Have you seen the announced Dart Zone Max Striker? Yes, I have. I do this for a living. I've seen blasters you haven't even heard of yet. What does the Rush 40 remind you of? It reminds me very much of like the Dart Zone Meteor, but like instead of that being an actual thing to hold ammo or an actual magazine, it's a thing to hold in. So like, pop, pour out some rounds that you can't see. I've got Predator ammo. What modded Nerf blaster will wreck HVZ? Stock Villainator. You think it's possible to hack into a flywheel blaster like a computer? It doesn't have any computer on it. Flywheel blasters are very binary. It's like, they work. Did Hasbro tell you if any more Hyper... No, they have not leaked any blasters. They did say they have more coming. Opinion on the Roblox B blaster. I think it'll probably be not good. Do you like Hoop 772? Yes, I do. You like the Siege 50. Of all the blasters, it was probably the most consistent, but it was very underwhelming. But for the price point at $40 with 40 rounds, pump action, slam fire, high capacity, I think it was still a pretty decent deal. Solid 2, 3 out of 5. Do you know about the Etsy Spring Thunder? Well, I have a Spring Thunder from like 2 or 3 years ago. Can you upload your M20 construct bid? I will also have that done next week. That is one I've also spent a lot of time on. Do you think X-Shot will ever make a comeback? I think they're still riding high on the Crusher. The Crusher's really cool. Maybe it's a little bit overhyped now. It's still really cool, though. You know about the upcoming Rival Curve Shot Helix? I keep forgetting that thing exists. I really do. Hopefully good. Hopefully. What do you think about the Halo MA40? It's okay. I still need to finish my mod. There's so many mods that I'm going to finish really quickly when we get to the studio because I'll have so much more room to work on things. Is Boomco dead? Yes. Do you have the Nerf Elite Rhino Fire? Yes, I have a couple. Do you watch Coops before or after? I try not to watch any review before I do my own review. Just so I don't, like, color my own opinion. I do sometimes check out after. I think I kind of scoped out Coops' review. I think he said this was, like, the best blaster ever, and I agree. I do want to appreciate the, call out the 115 people that are watching me even want to die right now. OMG, WALCOM, have you heard about the NERF Maverick? No, what the heck's that? Speaking of which, I really need to get my hands on, like, the Walgreen NERF Maverick. I don't have one at all, I don't think. What will happen if I shoved a half dart down the barrel of a Nexus Pro and shoot it? It would shoot. Where'd you get your logo profile pic? They were done by my friend Slater. Is the Rush 40 accurate? No, not really. Doesn't need to be. Is there a worse blaster than the Warden? Yes, the Uppercut. What do you like about the Nerf Rival Charger? I like the form factor. I don't like the offset barrel. I kind of like the internal magazine idea, but it might not have been better than, like, the Zeus. Do you like the takedown? Yes. I printed out a whole kit for the takedown and never finished it. What do brass barrels do exactly? Sorry, I don't mod too much. Excellent question. Brass is very tight on a dart. So, son of a busted. I think I stole these from Lucha. So this is, I think, 1730 seconds. Yeah, so it's very tight, but it's also smooth because it's brass. So what that does is when you have air pressure back here, I don't have enough air power to blow that out with my own lungs, but basically it's smooth enough that it will glide, but it's also tight so it builds up pressure. So once it starts going, it doesn't really stop going. And since it's airtight, you know, it's very good. And basically it builds up momentum better. It uses the air power more effectively in a barrel. So I think I explained that. I'm very
great. Now let's make it better.
What's my favorite Springer?
But just writing from a place of
probably the the Ultra Pharaoh because of that short dart kit.
Where you're just grateful for any idea that comes along.
So NERF Hyper is kind of unsafe. How so?
Change it because you don't know how.
Oh, that makes more sense. Thanks. Yeah. So like most blasters, like here's a Rebel secret shot thing. The barrel is literally out back here. That's about how much it is tight on the dart. You could probably have like a good 2 or 3 inches of brass, and this thing would hit harder. That's just brass is like the perfect diameter and it's perfect composition for darts. Do you think NERF will ever do something like the Speed Quick 16 or Speed Load 6? I don't think so. Those are expensive blasters to make. Like, they're complicated. What is your second least favorite Elite 2.0 blaster? The Commander. Did you just have that brass barrel ready? I was working on this for something. I can't remember what. Might have been the Milsig. You have the Rebelled Purse? Yes. A couple of them. What do you think of the Jet Blaster Ceta? The Ceta S is pretty good in my opinion. I do not trust myself not to lose those itty bitty things. Okay? Do you not lose short darts like the Ventura's Pro Darts? Because I lose like every single one I fire. And yet these are super bright neon day glow color that are really hard to miss. Would you prefer the Hyper rounds to be foam instead of rubber? No, because they wouldn't weigh enough. That's the problem with Rival, is they don't weigh enough. They lose their momentum from air resistance too quickly, which causes them to just kind of float off in a random direction. Do you think NERF will ever use the Sledgefire shells for anything else? God, I wish they would. Sledgefire should come back. I think they were way better than Trilogy shells. Yeah. Any good mods for the Slingfire to make it hit hard? So tired. You can get some kits for the Slingfire to make it hit okay, like 150 FPS about when it tops out at. But it's really expensive. You got to get metal priming bar, metal gear train, metal bolt sled is kind of the main deal. And then of course barrel breach. And did you make the big shot shoot rivals? Yes, with my NERF Alpha Strike mod. So tough. We'll probably go till like, another half hour and then I'm just gonna pass out. I did a 5-hour stream last week, so you guys can forgive me for that. Plus I gotta come up with a good idea for next week's stream. If I do one next week, because again, we might move. We will be moving next week, but it's like, do I move on Saturday or do I move before or after it? I assume Hyper is also illegal in Australia. Everything is illegal in Australia. Shockwave or DG? It's DG. Can you do a studio tour? I will when we move in. I will do a video. The difference between short darts and hyperballs is short darts degrade and get shredded in a mower. I doubt the hyperballs will even degrade. You don't know that? You have literally zero knowledge about that. You have no proof. Also, in this live stream, somebody, because I did get confirmation that these are made from TPE, I believe is the material, and that's biodegradable. So, I don't know what is with people making wild assumptions and assertions on something they have never even smelled. I don't get it. Why don't you guys just say, I don't like it because it's new. I don't want it because it's new. I don't like it because it's new. It's not the best, therefore I don't like it. I don't care if I could fit 900 rounds in one thing the size of something that would only fit 4 rounds. I don't care because they're new and I don't like it. Like, holy crap, I am so tired of you people. I am done. This hobby is becoming so toxic. It's the same crap with Boomco. When Boomco was better than darts in every single way, and you still had people saying, well, I got my Death Dealer 9000 modded. It's the best Nerf gun ever. It's based off of Drax, but it's so much cooler because I made it, and all this stuff about how it's so good and Boomco is bad. It's like, Boomco was better in every single way. Deal with it. On every single level, Boomco was better. The only thing was the clips. They weren't really that good. It could have been magazines, but even then, 40-round clips the size of an 18-dart magazine. Oh, Boomco was so bad, though. God, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Like, you guys were like, short darts are bad. Short darts are so bad. Short darts are dumb. And then the second they're in store, it's like, oh my God, short darts are amazing. Short darts are the best thing ever. Doesn't matter how many times we said it for the last 5-6 years. Nobody cared until they were in a store. I guarantee you'll pick one of these things up and be like, holy crap, Rival Ultra's Hyper is really good. It just needs a couple little tweaks, and I'm sure they'll get better. And it's like, after months of you talking crap about it, you'll be on the same train as the rest of us. God, I'm so tired of this crap. So tired of it. It's like, you can't do anything new. Because everyone's like, I don't care, I'm still going to use the same Nexus Aeon Pro that is the best blasters ever made ever. I think they're okay. They're literally 3 out of 5 blasters. The only reason they're 5 out of 5 on anything is because it's a short dart blaster that hits 150 FPS they could pick up in a store. That's it. That's the only reason why those blasters are good. You would never want to buy a Nexus Pro and dump $200 of parts into it because you could spend half of that and get a much better blaster out of a Prophecy or a Sita S, which was only, what, $70 blaster most days? You can get a Ceto Model S for $70, and I think that's better than a Nexus Pro every single way. And yet I still have to deal with people like, oh my God, the Nexus Pro is the best blaster ever. Oh my God, you know that blaster? You know your pump action long shot? You know your automatic long shot? That's crap compared to a Nexus Pro. It's like, I hate you people. I absolutely despise you people. Like, you're gonna get so annoyed when, like, wars actually start opening up, and you're like, I'm gonna go to the Nerf war and wreck everybody with a Nexus Pro. You showed up and everybody has Nexus Pros, Cetas, Jet Blaster, freaking, the long shot, whatever that was called, modified long shots, modified retaliators, and you just get spanked horribly. And also you're gonna get spanked by people using the same blaster and be like, oh, everybody has the same blaster as me. And I'm using the exact same tactics, exact same strategies. I can only do so much because I'm so limited by my singular ammo type. It's gonna be so annoying to you. You're gonna find out so quickly how annoying it is to be in a field with, here's my Nexus Pro, there are many like it, but this one's mine, and everybody on the field, all 30 people, 25 of them are using the same exact blaster. You're gonna go, oh, this is dumb. And then you're gonna be like, well, is it worth paying $50 to have slightly smoother prime? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh my God. Gosh. Ugh. But you can get a Game Face Prime for $50. See, I haven't even played with my Game Face Prime yet. I heard the barrel was wobbly. My point still stands. They're watching theories from other streamers before they have any hands on it. I thought I covered the entire ammo pretty freaking comfortably. How many dislikes did we get from that little tirade right there? I'm really curious. I'm sure a bunch of people were like, how dare he talk down to me? I'm the official source of NERF Hyper. I literally made NERF Hyper because I sent an email to John Hasbro back in 2012 saying they should make NERF Rival but smaller. And they made it, so I literally made NERF Hyper. It's because of me that Hyper exists. And I know Hyper is bad because I was just making fun of John Hasbro for him being dumb. I'm so tired of you people. God. It's just like, let's wait, form our own opinions, and stop looking at everything like, oh, it's not a short dart shooter, so it's crap. Like, this hobby hasn't existed for 3 decades before short darts existed. And spoiler alert, we've had short darts since like 2004, and we're like, imagine if you were in this hobby like modifying like secret shots to shoot foam backer rod with BBs and hot glue. Like you had your arrow storm with the barrels reamed out so you can put in like PVC pipes and rear load, you know, slugs into them. And imagine how you feel now with all these kids like, oh my god, have you ever used a Nerf short dart before? They're so good. You'd want to just like break PVC pipe over their little heads. It's horrible. It's so bad. And I don't know where this comes from. God. Yeah, Hasbro makes a really good 40-round pistol. God forbid the 40-round pistol only goes elite range sometimes and goes farther than a dart zone blaster angled every other time. Oh, not acceptable. Should I buy a crossbolt or retaliator? Retaliator's probably a better option, but my god, I love the crossbolt. I actually do have an inhaler right now. I had to bum one off my older brother. Does Hyperline have a hop-up? One blaster in the Hyperline has a hop-up. I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick. It'll be like 3 seconds, so I'm sure the viewer count's gonna go down. Okay, so it was like 16 seconds. Rush 40 would shred indoor games. Rush 40 would shred on just about every single foam battlefield. I don't care if the FPS cap was 250. If I can have a sidearm, I'm gonna have a Rush 40. Hyper blowgun. That's the big thing, Chris. It does seem pretty interesting, Silas. It does feel like they kind of just put 3 blasters out there and wanted to see what people liked the most, which is fair. Are you a cat? You're a cat. They call it peach mango, but it tastes like carrot juice. It does say vegetable juice concentrate. Philly the Kid with the $2 super chat just because I agree with you.
Just because I agree
I'll take it. It's nice to hear that the only Hyper Blaster I was interested in is the best one. I called it. I think we all called it. Like, I looked at the Rush 40 and went, like, hopefully that thing is actually not very big because 40 rounds on a pistol is stupid. Oh, that feels good. I think they will, Quan. I mean, Gecko's cool. Gecko's really good. But 40 rounds. I think the real question is Gecko primary, Rush 40 secondary. What do you think of the Nerf Hyper line so far? It's pretty impressive, I think. I think the ammo is still pretty early in development, all things considered. And I think the blasters are still being experimented with. That Clowny has been having fits. It's had the biggest revelation. Inline clip Hyper will be lit. I think magazines will be good. Gecko's price is several Rush 40s. I agree. Moto Striker Mastodon. Mastodon's huge, but man, the Mastodon's fun. Could you use the Nexus Pro as a base platform to top money on it? You can. You can. Do I recommend it? Okay, you know what? If I'm gonna spend the $150 on getting all the parts for the Nexus Pro off Amazon, there's a link that keeps popping up in my chat that will actually lead you right to those parts on Amazon. It might be worth it. I'm still unsure. I don't like the plunger tube system, like the springs that the Nexus Pro uses. I'd rather use the Aeon Pro. I'd rather have a pump action Aeon Pro. I think that's a better system. This is true, Lucha. Do you have a scamp yet? I do not. I do not have a scamp. It's on the list. Same thing with the zinc. I don't have a zinc yet. Oh, something cool that did happen to me. You know, besides Hyper, I am thankful to Hasbro for sending me out Hyper. I was not expecting it at all. I think nobody was expecting me to get my hands on Hyper. I was pretty happy that they sent me out Hyper. That being said, I got contacted by Creality, and Creality is sending me out a new printer for free. Do a video on. They actually don't even want like a dedicated video on it. They just want me to like print out a blaster and feature the printer in it. It's like a $500 something printer. It's a good one, from what I can tell. I did not mention that I already had like 4 other Creality printers and loved them. So I'm super happy about that. That's one of the coolest things that's ever happened. What's better, the Mach-100, the Mach, or the Perseus? I'd say the Perseus has probably got it beat, but there may still be hope for the Mach-100. What's that scar above my eye? It's not a scar. I know, it looks like I got a scar. No, I must have hit my head or something when I was sleeping. Do you think Hyper will get mags? I think they should, yeah. They sent it to a lot of folks that I'm surprised got. I'm not disagreeing with that. It was kind of interesting. Also made me feel absolutely worthless. It's like, why do I spend all this time like building up a channel when it's like, it's cool that smaller channels get this, like, but they'll never know the struggle. It's like, I don't think Hasbro reached out to me until I had like, what, 70,000 subs? Man. Did I miss the Hyper Street date? I put it in the comments section, pinned comment. It's supposed to come out late. They said late June, early July. So do you think Hyper might be sort of biodegradable? Yes. As somebody else checked, it's made of TPE. It's made of a blend of TPE. What are your thoughts on Worker Swift Blaster? I hope it hits the marks that they allegedly are trying to hit with. Because it's supposed to hit hard. Can you do a giveaway? I have. Seldom is it worth it. I don't make a lot of money, and I'm in the middle of a move, which is tough because now I have less money. So shipping blasters around the world right now is a little bit less of a priority. I will do more in the future, I'm sure, but right now I'm not doing it. Why did NERF discontinue the original Elite line? Probably because they felt like they were having troubles competing with like Dart Zone and stuff like that. So Hyper Ammo is sticky. Kinda. It's not like wet, damp, sticks to every object. It just builds a lot of friction against itself. Does it pick up dirt? A little bit, yeah. What are they claiming the Swift hits again? I had it from a leak, and I don't want to regurgitate what that leak told me. Let's just say it's higher than you're probably thinking. But I know when they officially revealed the Swift, they did not reveal any performance marks with it. Remember that Travis Scott blaster? Because ever since it came out, I've been having a few Nerf will collab with more celebs, I'm sure. A grip-fed Hyper Blaster would be wild. Yep, that might actually happen at some point. Do you think we will get more Elite 2.0? I've literally seen a new Elite 2.0 blaster. I didn't get a good picture of it, but I've literally seen one. It looks really interesting. It doesn't look like anything I expect. It looks way different than what I'd be expecting. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy about. It's a CR10 Smart, which I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Gimme. It's basically a bigger version of my CR6, so think it even has some more features. My suit. I don't know if that actually popped up on the mic or not. Just a bigger version of the CR6 though. If I pay shipping, would you ship me 5 Hyper rounds so I could start developing a Foam Blast spring-powered Hyper magazine? They'll be out in about a month. To be perfectly honest, it's probably not worth my time. And also, if I shipped some to you, I would get a whole bunch of people that would want them. So, kinda not really looking to do that when they'll be out, like, July. I'm also not really a fan of, people getting a product early and then developing parts for that product before other people have their chance to get their hands on it. So when they get their hands on it, they are the first to have the product out. I feel that's a conflict of interest. I'm not developing anything for NERF Hyper. I will not be selling anything for NERF Hyper. I get early access and that's it. I'm able to give my feedback and tell you guys what I think. I'm not out here like, oh my god, you know what would so be better? I would be so much cooler if I built a thing for it and sold it on my website. Like, that's conflict of interest to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being a stick in the mud, but I feel like it's a really, really dirty thing to do, in my opinion. I feel a well-designed hyperbag may solve the jamming issue. I agree. Is the new Elite 2.0 blaster sort of like a pistol or rifle? It's like a rifle-ish size from what I saw. Is the Hyper ammo harder than the 50 caliber foam HIRs? Yes. It does. It really does not flex all that much. I have a green screen up, so I can't show you now. Have a good night, Isaiah. Do you think the Tomahawk drum will be reliable? I hope it is, because I like the idea of the design, but since it's relying on kind of gravity, while the drum is going to be spinning those rounds upside down and then hopefully having them drop back in, I do have some concerns. Yeah, but you got to think, if it's sticky, it's not really sticky. It will get dirt and other small materials in your gun, so it's probably not worth it. Like, it's not, oh my god. Okay. Behold, a piece of dirt. Behold, a hyper round. Look at that. Look at how sticky these hyper rounds are. They stick so much. They're so sticky. Now, are some of these rounds, hold on, I think I had one with a speck of dirt on it somewhere. This one's got like, some, can you see anything? Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's a little tiny piece of dirt. Yeah. Like, you notice how these balls don't really move when they're jammed together? It's friction. They friction stick. Okay? They're not like physically like sticky like a gack. It's just they stick to each other. God, I wish I would have used a different word. This video is sponsored by Honey. Oh my god. So tired of fucking kids. What does it feel like to get shot with Hyper? Ask Lucha that tomorrow. Point blank, they do sting. Like, they're not like, look at like, these are some of the strongest thumbs in the land. Let me tell you, I got them straight up gamer thumbs. Like, my thumb doesn't go like this, like some kind of Neanderthal. No, I get straight up evolved gamer guy thumbs. And like, it's like, as opposed to whatever the hell this is. Oh, look at that. It's dead. You never want to use this dart ever again. There's another thing that, like, I talked about that I don't think anybody else did. Like, as long as you could find this stupid thing after you fire it, which, by the way, isn't that hard because they're, like, day glow green, you can reuse it. This dart, I would never want to... Look at it. It's been sitting on my desk after I did that. It's dead. I would never want to use this dart ever again. This? Hell yeah, I would. They're like, oh, it's $12 for 50 rounds. Yeah, 50 rounds. As long as you could find them, you could reuse them. Yeah, American foam. I take blame, but I'm so tired. I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna go back in time, find out who said rival or hyper rounds are sticky, and we all started talking about sticky balls. I just need to murder that person. Oh. So it's like a similar to Boomco heads. They're firmer than Boomco heads, definitely. They're very similar to like the Boomco rounds, which I have like 30 of those, and I don't know where they are right now. So you're saying it's not mini Gobzooka rounds? No, God, no. Thank you, David. Holy crap. No, they are not Gobzooka rounds. I forgot those are a thing. You ever played Roblox on stream? Yes. So comparable to non-lethal rounds hardness? That's definitely not it's not a non-lethal round hardness. If they impact, they'll obviously squish. Like, they're firmer than you would expect. Happened because the patent document says tacky. I have a puppy that should explain why I wouldn't use them. Oh, so you also can't use these, right? Just so we're clear, you can't use these either, right? You can't use these, right? Just so we're clear. I mean, if you've got to come up with an excuse to hate something, fine. I would argue that's not a very healthy route to live your life, but yeah, you do you. If you have to come up with some nonsensical excuse to hate something, go for it. I don't want to do that. Is Hyper worth buying? Well, the Rush 40 is a 5 out of 5. I'm about ready to just drop the bomb. Like, if you buy this for $30 and you don't think you got your money's worth, just never say that to me. This thing's rad. So rad. It's fine if somebody's like, hey, Hyper sucks. How does it suck? It's green. I hate green. Green is bad. Oh, okay, you're an idiot. Yeah, but it still sucks. Well, fair enough. You got a point, Motion. You got a point. I really like this. Like, this right here is like, this is what true Nerf winning looks like. Because this thing's dumb. Just got to make sure every single time you prime it, you point it down. That's it. Does the Rush have Slamfire? No. Rush is also pretty weird because, like, it primes the entire, like, top of the blaster. God, even that looks cool. Know what I mean? Like a mini Percy's now. That's a great name for this. Also, by the way, totally psyched for when somebody makes like a mini flywheel version of Hyper. Eh. Yeah, I really like this set. This is not nearly as good because, yeah. This also has similar issues. Because, yeah. You can do this. That looks dumb. And also now it's hard to prime your blaster. And also, yeah. But this is like really hard to kind of knock off like that. So, I like it. How's the ergo on the Rush? I did cut out all of my talk on ergonomics. The Rush is very comfortable. Very comfortable. Man. Only complaint I have is the same thing I have on a lot of blasters, where this doesn't, like, mesh in well with where your trigger would rest. It's just kind of a block, but it's very good. I would say it's almost as good as the Meteor. WALCOM, the Ultra Select just leaked on Discord. It was leaked on Facebook a couple of hours ago. So now you know what I was talking about when I was talking about the Ultra Select. Very excited for that blaster. Lots of applications for a blaster like that. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they go after darts and cats go after anything that moves. How's the trigger and trigger pull? They're fine. Actually kind of liked this trigger. I thought this was pretty comfortable for a trigger on Nerf. I also cut this out, I think, from the video, but the safety, which, you know, moves a fraction of an inch, actually locks the rev trigger on the Mach. So if the safety, which is only on one side, sorry, you can't rev it. You can't fire it either, but you can't rev it. Does the Percy's do that? I don't think it does. Maybe it does, but, like, this was really good to me. Oh, also the Select is apparently full auto. The more you know. Do they all have screws? Yes. How much is what? The Select? I have no idea. Are you a cat? Ashamed. Come on, ban him. The Mach-100 is 70 ducats. What does the Select look like? A cool-ass rifle. Oh god, the Select looks cool. I really like the look. I mean, it's still $30 cheaper than the Percy's was, and you get similar functionality. Nerf Rival Hades. I have never opened mine. I do have one. I liked it. I've held one. I liked it. Do you think one could minimize the Mach-100? Yes. Spammy's gets you yeeties. Oh. Are you the one who killed him? Oh my god, Lucha, you were. Quick, run. He's tasted blood. Can't find a picture of the Select. Can you describe it? Well, think of an Ultra Amp about rifles. There no... Why is all of my stuff all, like, effed up? Is there a picture in the Discord of the Ultra Select? I mean, it's been posted on Facebook, so... I would assume people have seen it by now. I mean, if somebody wants to post it in Discord, one of the mods wants to post it, that's fine. Wait, hold on. No, I don't think that's actually fine. Let me rephrase that, because I'm pretty sure the post said not to post them anyway. You think Hyper will kill Rival? Yes. Flex looks roughly like an Ultra Raptor. That's true. I'm gonna wind it down. I need to sleep before Lucha comes up. What's a good place to buy modded Nerf guns? Etsy? Yeah, I love that thing. That color of the Nexus Pro is awesome. You still have the Nerf Elite 2.0 Warden? No, I sent the one I had to Hasbro. I asked for it. The second one. First one got returned to Walmart. The second one got sent to Hasbro. If you fix the magazine release and the jam door and the NERF Elite 2.0 turbine, would it be your favorite blaster? It'd be up there. I really like the ergonomics on this turbine. Me too, NorCal Nerf Club. I'm really happy to see the monolith. I think it looks sweet. That jam door, or the feeding door on the monolith looks rad. I'm so tired of these little tiny, like, holes to feed rival rounds into. I want big ol' holes. You sent the second warden as a threat. Yes, to establish dominance. Are you excited for the Striker and the Tomahawk? Yeah, I mean, the Striker looks to be just a reshell of the Nexus Pro, but the Tomahawk looks really good. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for the model. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, I'm gonna sleep so. How many jolts do I have? A lot. Oh! Yeah. I have another one. Thanks to Quintic. Crap. Wait. That might be it. Open. Yeah, this is from Quintic. What is this bag? It's like industrial carbon fiber. So with this, I'm only missing like the Halo ones right now, I think. So thank you very much to Quintic for sending that on to me. What's my most expensive blaster? Probably my red long shot with the auto kit on it. Yeah, and NGL, like, I was not gonna stream today. I was like, I might just sleep all day. Yeah. It'll be more fun once we have the studio, because then I can do other things. We plan to have entire walls of green screen at the studio. And we'll have way better internet, so I can bump this up from 720, 30 frames per second to 4K, 120, destroy Twitch. Hopefully we get to the point where I'm working on a project while Luchathor's playing Pokemon on the green screen behind me. I want to do stuff like that. I think that would be funny as hell. Hopefully I could get like a workbench that's made out of green screen. I mean, 100 people watching for me doing nothing is still pretty good, so I'll take it. These streams will get a lot better. I promise. They'll get a lot better. Chris, I have to do some more work to 4 frontal, but it's almost done. Popeyes or KFC? Popeyes. Is it streaming at 1080p? Let's find out. Output? No, stream. It's a stream. Oh. Video? Oh, it is doing 1080p. It's doing 1080p 30. So. I don't know what you have to bring tomorrow, Lucha. I'll be up early-ish. Pizza Hut or Domino's? Is that even a question? Anybody who says Pizza Hut's just wrong. I have it at 1080p setting, but it did downsample to secs ago. Oh well. I didn't know that was a measurement of time. I like your mic where it has LEDs in it. Yeah, I had to have it for that. Because it did some fun stuff, like, it's visually interesting. Plus, it sounds okay. I don't like the idea of using USB microphones anymore, but it's whatever. Papa bless. Yeah, everybody's like Domino's. Yeah, like, anybody who says Pizza Hut is factually wrong. I don't think I've ever had Papa Murphy's. I actually don't think I've had Papa Marie. Is that the take and bake? Papa John's is the one. I don't think I've ever had Papa John's. How many pets do you think Hyper Ammo will kill? Probably not any more than Short Darts killed, or Rival. For all I know, these things will actually... I'm not going to eat one to find out, but... You know that they expect, like, little kids to, like, sometimes eat these, right? Like, you do realize that, right? $1,000 and WALCOM eats a Hyper round right now. $1,000. Little Caesars gets a bad rap. I actually had Little Caesars. I had a thin crust, like... It was thin crust pepperoni, and it was really good. Cheese nuts, will save the studio stuff for when I actually have the studio. You try the new chicken sandwich from Burger King? I haven't. Should we go to Burger King tomorrow? Chicken. Oh! Snap, that looks good. I doubt our, like, Burger King will have it, but that actually looks kind of good. You see this, Lucha? They've got a new chicken sandwich, apparently. It's called, like, the Chick-King or something. I doubt it's actually out yet here. Looks good, though. And breaded crispy chicken sandwich. Is that the new one? It looks pretty good. Is it called the hand breaded crispy chicken? Looks like what the Wendy's spice. God, Wendy's was so good back in the day. Of all the places I think I've fallen from grace, Wendy's. Yeah, it looks like a standard chicken sandwich. You take that back. It looks amazing. What brand mic are you using? It is the HyperX Quadcast S, and it was $150. They sell a cheaper one that's not RGB. It's just straight red, but it doesn't have USB-C, which is why I got this one. The only Mr. Beast burger is like up in Seattle. I'm not gonna order a sandwich from Seattle. The copy I see now calls it the Chick-King. Yeah, I don't see that. If I go to their website, I see the hand-breaded crispy chicken sandwich. I don't see the Chick-King. Oh, it says it comes out in June anyway. It looks the same. Is it not the same sandwich? Yeah, no, it looks the same. Their hand-breaded crispy chicken sandwich looks the same as the Chick-King. I'm not gonna, hold on. Have technology. What did I use for this? It's food review channel. Yeah. Come on. Give us a ticket. Almost done. Doing it live. There we go. Is this not it? Does this looks new-ish? Because that's like the one. Like, is that not the new one? Oh, that was the new chicken sandwich. Thoughts on the new Nerf Rifle Helix? Is that out yet? I don't think it's out yet, but I'm interested in it. I thought it looks pretty good. They're not mega simple. They're standard red darts. Okay, so I'm not the only one that looked at that and went like, yeah, that looks pretty freaking good. I think I'll order a couple. I guarantee it's not going to look like that when you get into real life. Yeah, but well, it's whatever. Cat. Fluffy boy. You want to come here? Oh, I'm like, when did my inhaler have 140 ticks left? Ah, Fuji, come here. Come here. You want to be on stream? Come here. I'm here, Fluffy boy. Big Flufferson. Oh my god, you're so fat, lazy. Come here. Oh my goodness. Fluffy kitty. I know, right, David? Against the microphone. We'll be doing a lot of gaming once the studio's up, don't worry. The official Hasbro warranty kit. I know, like, maybe 4 people know where that meme comes from. Something... Hasbro warranty. Oh. Huh? In your... Okay. How are the Rados doing? They're doing good. It's okay, Cheese. I think we're gonna shut it down anyway. Most people mod blasters to shoot somewhere between like 130 and 150 because most games are either 130 or 150. Some shoot for 200 in some other games now. Not a lot of people do 200, and some people do above that, but it's like, I know 2 events in the year that do high-powered stuff that are hit that hard. So. Jeremiah, I did multiple videos on the team. Currently rebooting. You stole that from Coop on his 20... I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. some people try to shoot through Tinder. I'll go with Tinder. It's fine, brain. That's a logical deduction. Have any recommendations for my first Nexus Pro mod? A spring. Also, Amazon has all the worker parts you'd want. Nexus Pro. Alright. I'm gonna go die. Look forward to content tomorrow featuring Lucha. I'll upload it to the cool places. Might have a stream next week, might not. Can't really decide right now because it depends on how much we get done and when our time frame for actually moving is next weekend. I do want to move next weekend, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen like next weekend or like the couple of days after the. So, big cool things coming. It shouldn't be that much of a delay in content. In fact, I should still have 2 or 3 videos next week. I basically have to because I have to have them done before I move. So, we'll do that, and then it should be way easier once we get into the studio because I can film like almost every single thing I need to shoot inside of one room instead of like 14 different locations trying to get everything. So it'll be fun. There's cat hair everywhere now. Speaking of cat. So, alrighty. I'll say bye to everybody in the chat, and then I'm gonna go die. Sorry it's a little bit shorter, but this is because I did a 5-hour stream last time. Thank you very much, A Cheesemeister, Atomic Gaming, Ben the Robot, Bishop Gantry, BT7274, Cheese Nuts, Krusty Dung Bunk, Cruz Boyce, currently rebooting, David Bullock, Elijah Burley, Jackson Fuchs, I got you that time, JD Vlogs, Jeremiah Castro, Kakaru5688, Kingston Chambers, Kirk McMillan, Ativa, Milkman is here, Asian Friends, Porsche Shot, Primetime Media, Sahil Merjani, Scooter has YouTube, TI, Troy the T-Quir, Vinks, and Link Sir. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Saturday and, of course, weekend. We will be doing a bunch of stuff tomorrow. I really want to do the Claymores and the Nerf grenades with Rival and stuff in them. I think that'll be fun. Not Rival, the Hyper and everything. So, we have some fun ideas for tomorrow. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye! Leave you with the rest of this song. As soon as I